We begin tonight with breaking news as fire crews work to contain a brush fire in the Phoenix River bottom.
Phoenix Fire responded to the blaze near 7th Street and University just before 8 o'clock tonight. This is what it looked like when they arrived there. The fire in the Salt River bottom had a few flare-ups at times, but crews say they've been working ever since to keep the flames from spreading. We do have a crew at the scene right now as firefighters continue to work to get things under control. We're staying in touch with Phoenix Fire tonight and we'll bring you the latest on their progress.
New at 10, a Valley woman is fighting for her life after being hit by a suspected drunk driver in a head-on crash. Good evening and thanks so much for joining us. For 12 News at 10, I'm Kadiba Devine.
And I'm Mark Curtis. That woman's boyfriend, who also was seriously hurt in the crash, says one bad decision changed their lives forever. 12 News journalist Gabriela Becerra has their story.
There's nothing but immense pain.
It kills me.
Both physical and mental pain as Brian Salinas and his girlfriend Abrielle Lopez begin a long road to recovery.
I would trade places with her 100 times over and over.
It's now been more than a week since a suspected drunk driver crashed head-on into the couple near 107th Avenue and Northern.
I just remember hitting my driver and his passenger side. And then after that, I went unconscious for a few minutes.
Salinas has a long list of injuries.
A broken knee, broken femur, fractured ankle. I ripped all the ligaments in my left knee, dislocated my thumb. I have 5 fractured ribs, a punctured lung, 3 fractured discs in my back.
And Lopez has been in a medically induced coma since the night of the accident.
The physical pain doesn't come anywhere near the pain I feel in my heart. To see her, you know, in those conditions, hooked up to all those machines, like just absolutely fighting for her life.
Lopez is a certified nursing assistant at Mayo Clinic in Scottsdale, while also studying to become a registered nurse and raising her 3-year-old daughter.
For that to happen on Mother's Day, like, we were just lucky that her daughter was not in the car with us.
Peoria police say a man was initially arrested for DUI, but no charges have been filed as detectives wait for lab work to be processed. He also was driving on a canceled license.
He decided to make that decision. Now you should pay the price.
Salinas wants justice for himself and his girlfriend, but more than anything, he wants people to think twice before getting behind the wheel after drinking.
Have a ride set in place, you know, an Uber, a friend that doesn't drink. Stay wherever you're going to be. So, you know, get yourself sober, you know, before you leave. I mean, it's possible.
In Peoria, Gabriela Becerra, 12 News.
Gabby, thanks. And both Salinas and Lopez will be out of work for months as they heal from their injuries. A GoFundMe has been set up to help pay for their medical and household bills. If you'd like to help out, we have a link posted on our website, 12news.com. Developing tonight in South Scottsdale, police continue to investigate a shooting that left a man dead. It happened just before 5 o'clock this evening near McDowell and Scottsdale roads. Police say the shooting involved 2 men, a victim who died at the scene, and the suspect who was taken into custody and treated at a hospital. Police say they expect Miller between McDowell and Oak to remain closed overnight as they continue their investigation.
A Gilbert man is behind bars after allegedly killing a landscaper that he thought was trying to steal from him. It happened yesterday in a neighborhood near Germain and Power Roads. According to court records, 28-year-old Wyatt Ford says that he saw a pickup truck near his home matching the one that he believed to be involved in a previous theft to his trailer. Ford confronted the man and ended up fatally shooting him. Gilbert police identified the man as 51-year-old Manuel Vega Lopez. Police say that Ford's landlord had hired Lopez to trim the trees and had told Ford that there would be a landscaper on the property that day.
I went over to Wyatt, and Wyatt was hysterical, telling me, this is the guy that's been breaking into my trailer. I asked him, are you the guy breaking into my trailer? And he said yes, and then he had a tool in his hand, and then Wyatt fired on him.
Ford is now facing a second-degree murder charge and is being held on a $1 million bond.
We're keeping you in the loop on all things happening in the West Valley, and tonight we're getting our first look at the unofficial election results in Glendale. Voters are deciding on 2 different props tied to the massive Vi resort that's under construction near State Farm Stadium. Prop 401 is related to a zoning dispute over the land that surrounds the resort, which was originally designated by the city to be open park space. Meanwhile, Prop 402 would change other zoning rules for things like swimming pools and lighting. Right now, it looks like voters are split on the two measures. Here are the current unofficial results for 401, with no votes, just barely holding the majority. If this holds up, it would mean that the project would likely be delayed. And for 402, which have the yes votes in the lead, we reached out to Vi Resort to ask what a split vote would mean for the project moving forward, and we haven't heard back yet. Be sure and stay with 12 News for the latest updates.
Now to the very latest on the Greer fire as fire crews continue to get it more contained. Now, right now, the fire is 55% contained and has burned more than 20,000 acres. We told you last night that all the go evacuation orders for the wildfire have been downgraded to set status. And throughout the day today, people continue to return to their homes. Crews are now focused on extinguishing the hot spots deeper within the fire area to reduce the risk of embers breaching their containment lines.
All right, let's check in with meteorologist Lindsay Riley for a first look at our weather. And Lindsay, we've traded the winds, the red flag warnings, for much hotter temperatures.
Yes, but the good news is up in the high country, even though it's going to get warmer, we're talking 70s and 80s, so not oppressively hot. But in the lower deserts, we are returning to the triple digits beginning tomorrow, and then it'll extend into next week. In fact, we have the hottest days of the year so far, moving our way later this week. A little bit of breeziness out there this evening, winds out of the southwest, some gusts up to 18 in Globe, 10-mile-an-hour breeze out toward Greer. Those will stay relatively light through the overnight. Today we topped out at 99. Tomorrow we make it up to 104. Pretty big difference. Thursday, the warmest day of the week, at 106, and we'll stay in the triple digits throughout the upcoming weekend. So the triple digits will have some staying power over the next couple of days. Very pleasant though, still in the morning. Temperature 6 a.m. tomorrow, 73. Not so bad. At 8 a.m. we're at 80, but we warm up pretty quick between 8 and 10 a.m. up to 90 degrees, and then we'll stay in the triple digits from the mid-afternoon into the early evening. We're not setting any record highs, but the heat will build from here. Caribe.
All right, Lindsay, thank you. Developing tonight, state health officials say that poultry at a Maricopa County farm have tested positive for avian flu. Officials say that the affected farm is under quarantine right now. This is not the first time that bird flu has been detected in Maricopa County this year. Back in February, a local dairy facility was quarantined after bird flu was found in its milk supply.
New at 10, a toddler right now is going through some intense medical treatment after he was bitten multiple times by a rattlesnake. 12 News journalist Chase Golightly spoke exclusively with the child's mother just a few hours ago. He's live in Phoenix to explain how it happened. Chase?
Mark, that little girl, just 15 months old, has been here at Phoenix Children's Hospital since Friday. Her mother telling us that if they waited any longer to get here, her daughter may not be alive.
She's the angel of the family.
Kara Reed has been away from her siblings for a few days now.
She's just this little light in our home, and we miss her smiles.
Having to stay in the hospital after she was bitten by a rattlesnake not once, but twice.
It's really difficult to watch all of her complications.
Her mother, Jacqueline Reed, has been by her side since last Friday when it happened. The family lives near Florence. Jacqueline and Kara, who just turned 1 a few months ago, were out walking around their property.
And I saw a piece of trash, picked it up, went to go throw it away. Came back like under 10 seconds and she was crying.
When she went to see what was wrong,
I looked at her foot and she had 4 puncture wounds on the top of her foot, in the little window of her little jelly shoe.
Then she saw what was hiding behind her daughter.
It was a diamondback rattlesnake. I was terrified, but I went right into go mode.
Jacqueline rushed Kara to the nearest ER in town, calling ahead of time, telling them her daughter needs anti-venom.
Her foot, rapidly swole and was a nice shade of black within the 20 minutes it took for me to get to the ER.
When they arrived, both were then airlifted to Phoenix Children's Hospital for treatment.
She's had 30 vials of antivenom so far.
Apart from Kara's foot swelling and turning black, the 15-month-old could barely breathe.
She would have these episodes where she would drop her oxygen percentages down to like 25% or even less than 10%. She ended up being intubated with a breathing tube.
In the last 24 hours, Kara has started breathing on her own and getting some feeling back to her foot. Still, she has a very long road to recovery. Jacqueline believing that if it wasn't for her leaving immediately for the hospital, her daughter may not be here.
It was really about the response of moving quickly that I think saved her life.
As Jacqueline and her family continue to wait by Kara's side, praying she makes a full recovery.
I hope that we can get full function back, that she can be back to her normal, happy, cute, adorable self. We'll see what we can do, and we're just grateful we still have her with us.
At this time, Jacqueline doesn't know just how much all of that anti-venom is going to cost, anticipating it's going to be in the hundreds of thousands of dollars. She also doesn't know if insurance is going to be able to cover this. A GoFundMe account has been set up to help pay for those medical expenses. You can find that on our website. We're live in Phoenix. Chase Golightly, 12 News.
All right, Chase, thank you. Now to the state capitol, where Arizona lawmakers held a rally today to raise awareness about the rate of violence that's happening in the Native American communities. Advocates are asking for better data collection, improved coordination between agencies, and more funding for tribal law enforcement. This comes as the state gears up to activate the new turquoise alert system, which is similar to the Amber Alert, but would be for missing and endangered Indigenous people.
We need an actual solid foundation to be protected with everything that's already in place. I'm not talking about begging for new task force, begging for new money, begging for anything. I want the police, the law enforcement, and the justice system that's already in place to do their job.
Tomorrow morning, Governor Katie Hobbs will join tribal leaders and state lawmakers to sign the law establishing the turquoise alert. This all comes as recent federal reports show that Native women and girls face the highest rates of sexual violence, homicide, and trafficking in the entire country.